I'm watching it.
Kicking off. We're on?
I'm not sure.
I think we are, mate. Welcome, everyone. Episode 1 of the Monday Blues 2024. Happy New Year to everyone. You
Happy
might
New
ask
Year, guys.
yourself, thank you. Yeah, you might ask yourself why there's only 2 degenerates on screen rather than 5. There's been a little bit of a false start. We recorded yesterday. Hopefully, it's a false start just for the Monday Blues and not Carlton Football Club. But yeah, we recorded yesterday and had a bit of issues uploading. But the boys send their regards and say hi. So it is just George and Andy
Massive
today.
issues. Absolutely. You're tuning in to possibly the biggest car crash you're going to see in the 2024 season. Just a heads up.
So do bear with us. And if you want to lend some video editing or broadcasting skills, hey, slide in the DMs. We're always happy.
Please hit us up.
We're just five guys from the area trying to get by here. How you going, Andy?
Good, bro. Good. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I only saw you a couple of days ago. We did.
Yeah.
I did say, actually, shout out. It was your birthday on the weekend, so happy birthday, mate. So everyone in the comments,
Thank you,
send your birthday love to Andy.
Thanks, mate. Getting old.
You did. I was going to say you did call me the other day, and I had a nightmare. I woke up from that. We started 0-2. That's what I dream about in January. Is the season openers. So it was unacceptable. It was not the great way to end the week last week, but hopefully it's not a bad omen. But what's been happening with you?
Yeah.
You G'd up. How you feeling,
Mate? Oh, bro. Ever since prelim, I've been really cut. I've been really upset because I watched that grand final. I was at work and I was watching the grand final. I didn't want to take a day off to watch that rubbish. And I was so cut. I was so angry because I knew that should have been us on that day. We would have beaten Collingwood. We would have beaten the filth. So I'm angry. I'm cut. But I'm going into this season very, very confident. There's not a team that can stop us. There's not a single team that can beat us on our day. So 17 is coming home. I'm calling first couple of minutes, the first of the year. 17 is coming home.
Confidence. Yeah. Bookmark it. 15th of Jan. I love the confidence. I'm feeling pretty good. I guess this season was one where, or this preseason, I guess, was one where your eye's not analysing sort of the draft as much as it is. We're gonna we've got this top 10 pick, and analysing the rebuild and gutting the list with the trade period. So it's nice that we have that stability, and I guess a great team to build on and great results to build on from last year. So I actually feel pretty good going into next season, and I think that sounds like the boys are really hungry. You look at the end of season 2022. Don't want to think about it, but that round 23 match against Collingwood, right? And that was sort of instilled in their minds. And then to see how we finished, look, on a low note, but really heads to be held up high during our performance, especially at the start of the Brisbane game. So the way we ended the season, I guess, was, there was a bit of pride amongst the supporter base of the team, but knowing that, hey, the window is ajar now, right? So we really have an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just excitement, man. Just bounce that ball, get that siren. I'm freaking keen. Round zero. So round zero, opening round, they announced we're going to be there. Andy and I'll be there. So if anyone's traveling to Brizzy or from Brizzy that's going to that game, shoot us a message. We'll be there for that one. What's your thoughts on the fixture? That
will be at the casino. What's my thoughts on that?
The first game, the fixture. Obviously, we've got a few Thursday night games. What's your thoughts on it?
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, I mean, Georgie, we're winning the flag. Play us any day. Play us on a Wednesday arvo for all I care. I don't care. We are going to win the flag. I don't care who we're playing. There's no excuse. If we play our best footy, we showed last year what we're capable of. If we play our best footy, I don't care who we play. I don't care where we play them. I don't care when we play them. We're going to smash through teams. Game that I'm really, really looking forward to, and I think the boys in our failed recording last night, they all mentioned it as well. Gather round. I think going to Adelaide last year, you and I, we had a great show. The AFL did. I can't wait to have all the boys there. It's just going to be. Can't wait. That's what I'm. What are you looking forward to?
That is a good one. That's going to be a big one. I'm looking forward to. Obviously, there's the big games against Collingwood and Essendon, of course, that you always look forward to. But I'm really keen to. I think in early May, or we got Melbourne again on a Thursday night. Thursday night this time, so we got a few primetime fixtures. But the Melbourne game again, right? So the last two Melbourne games, decided under a kick, high intensity, a little bit of storylines behind them. So I'm really keen for. Really keen for that one again, because they'll be replaying obviously the last moments of both the most recent Melbourne games as well. So looking forward to another close one. And in terms of I think the interstate game, we got quite a few Thursday night games. Interstate games are definitely going to try to get around to a few. Obviously, we'll be at the Brizzy game. We'll be at Gather Round. We've got Freo, I think, the Gather Round you were mentioning, right?
Yeah, Gather Round is Freo. Yep. That's right.
Yep. Nice. And in terms of being a pretty exciting off season with obviously a couple of extra additions, but keen to get your thoughts on with the playing list that we've got at the moment, right? So a breakout player, someone that you're excited to really see next season. Who do you reckon is going to take it to that next level?
Yeah, look,
a young player.
When I heard this question, when I saw it on our run sheet, we don't actually have a run sheet.
What's that?
Sort of in app group. Two names stood out to me more than anyone. I'm excited to see Jesse Motlop and Corey Durden. They're going to be competing for that forward pocket slot. Now, there's only room for one of them. So who's going to, you know what I mean? Who's going to step up? And one of them is going to go to the next level. I think it'll be Jesse. I think he killed it last year, that back end of last year. Was invaluable against Melbourne, especially in that semi. So I think he kicked the second last goal too to put us within a goal. So I think Jesse Motlop will be the one. I just think he's ready. He's 2 years in the system already. This is the third now. Let's see what you got, Jesse. Let's see what that Motlop name brings to Carlton.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely, I'm exactly on the same page as I was in the so-called failed recording last night. I thought about it, and I really, he's finished the season as a 19-year-old, only turned 20 a couple of months ago. Solid body, good competitor, quick, and I really feel like this is the year that he's going to take it up to that next level and say, I'm the first name on the team sheet with the small forwards. And guidance of Fantasia coming in, of course, as well. You got Durden, you got Owies. But I reckon by the end of the season, he's going to stake his claim as the premier small forward in our system. In terms of most improved player, so outside of that, who do you reckon on your end that would take it to the next level outside of the young players?
Man, that's a good question. Players, I think TDK. I mean, he is, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Jack Martin brings again. That back end of last year again, invaluable. We're going to repeat it again and again. Of what everybody brought last year, but Jack Martin was crucial for our comeback. So I think. And I was reading that David training, and he reckons McGovern looks the fittest he's ever looked. So
I read that.
Ron, what about you?
What are your thoughts?
Exciting times. Reading that was a nice read today, I guess. And again, preseason hype. I don't want to sort of get too excited. But again, it's nice to see that outside of the the Wiedering injury, which we'll talk about in a second. It's mostly been pretty positive. So for me, I personally would like to see Jack Carroll get a bit of a run and take it to at least get a handful of games this year. I think. I'm not sure what his contract status is at the moment, but obviously a few years in the system now. Saw a photo of him a couple of months ago at training where he's looking absolutely jacked. So if he can come in and play a role, whether it be half forward or whatnot as well, we've obviously got a bit of depth there now. So keen to see a little bit more of him. And
Jack Carroll, that's a really good one. Jack Carroll, he's almost that
forgotten player
for a while there. So. Good call.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Yeah,
see
well, he was a draft slider.
Well, I mean,
draft slider as well.
It's a very contested team right now. Where every position is contested right now. There's a contest for every position. So Jack Carroll, he needs to work hard, man. If he wants to get in and stay in, mate, things need to go his way, and the only way to do that is to go hard. Yeah, that's a very interesting call.
It is, and around the ground, like we mentioned it, last year about the wing and the depth in the wing. Obviously the year before that it was Lockie O'Brien, Jack Nunes, then all of a sudden you got Cottrell, you got Ollie Hollands, Doherty pinching there as well. But the half forward line as well, and getting guys like obviously Jack Martin on the park is huge. Fogarty coming back into the team and doing a great job after from the Gold Coast game last year.
What do you think of Elijah Hollands?
It could be anything, right? Like again, there's comparison. I don't want to look too much into the comparisons and things like that as well now, right? So I truly believe that he can be, he should be the best 22 player. Obviously, talent is huge, and I think he's going to be. If you recall, he was speaking about a couple of months into the season. It would be nice to have another, say, high half forward or someone who's a difficult matchup. So I feel like he can be that player, right? So how you've got a Bailey Fritsch, who's a very difficult matchup for Melbourne, right? I'm not saying he's going to be just purely forward. Obviously, he might pinch some minutes in the midfield or wing, but I feel like he can be that difficult player where you throw it forward and get you a couple of goals a game. Really, that X factor dynamic player. So I feel pretty good about him. And obviously, we done it right not having to pay an arm and a leg for him. Obviously, he had huge raps in his draft year, top 5 picks, touted to be top 5. I think he slipped at 7 or whatnot. But and then you've got Ashton Moyer as well, who we drafted. So there's a bit going on there.
Yeah,
excited.
Good stuff. I'm loving us getting Elijah Hollands. I think he's as far as the future goes. I think it'd be really good for him to be around his brother. The baby goat, Sam Walsh, Mr. Christian Dior, took him under his wing and went after him. So, I mean, what better role model to have, So, yeah, love it.
Absolutely. And that was, it's a good segue into, a headline that you want to see this season. And on that topic, I had last night that I mentioned Blues Brothers go double Dutch on Dacos's. So we've got a game in May, I think it is, against Collingwood, and it would be great to see Elijah and Ollie tear it up against Josh and Nick. A little bit of a storyline there, and we've got a new set of Blues Brothers now, obviously with Ed Kerner retiring. So it's it's on the Hollands boys. So I feel like that'll be a nice matchup. Great, obviously going to be great to see us win and hopefully towel up those twins. Not twins, they towel up the brothers. What about you?
Speaking of a line, speaking of a headline that I want to see, and I'm backing this all the way to the end of the season. Harry Mackay will score more goals than Charlie will play a different role, I hope, up the ground. Mate, finish top time trial. Charlie can run. Just play him up the ground. mate, who's going to stop him up the ground? So put Harry in the goal square, just a traditional full forward around him. I reckon he can kick 70 this year. But I'll back it all the way on that. If that happens, like, we're not going to lose. If Harry can kick 60, 70 goals, Charlie kicks 50, 60 goals, mate, we're not going to lose. There's not a team that will beat us if that happens.
That's your Roughhead Franklin combination numbers right there, right? Like that was at their peak.
Yeah.
Like they were doing numbers like that. Like, and look, bloke's a Coleman medalist, right? And I think you said it last night as well. If he works out, obviously, what's between the ears, you know, it could be anything, because he's going to get the delivery. He's going to get clean delivery and service, or hopefully, you know, all season. And as you know, you pointed out that Charlie, if he's playing a little bit deeper up the ground, you know, and the smalls at his feet as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a big and not to be let down by, you know, off weeks or misses and things like that as well, right? You're going to have your off days, you're going to have your off quarters and weeks, if that. But just to be, as you said, it's how he reacts to that. You know, I know you're a firm supporter of his, so good call.
Yeah. I'm just excited. I'm really excited to see what Harry does this year. And if it doesn't work, like last night in our convo, in our failed stream last night, Carl had made the point. What do we do if it doesn't work? Do we play him in the defense or whatever? I just think you got to stick it out. You Matthew Lloyd, whoever is willing to help get him right, you get him right. Said last night, he's a Coleman medalist. He's a Coleman medalist. You don't play a Coleman medalist. Don't. So play in the goal square. Make sure he leads to the right side of the ground. We'll be sweet. I'm so confident he's going to get it right. And if he doesn't, we right
it. For those watching along, I was going to say, for those watching along, don't write. Please jump in the chat though. What are your thoughts and predictions on maybe a headline you want to see, or even for our previous questions as well? Breakout seasons from players or most improved. Jump in, let us know. We'll be looking at it. And there is Cam. Thanks for tuning in again. A very loyal listener and watcher of ours. There is a slight connection problem. Bear with us, as we said. Andy opened up with, this might be a car crash of a recording, but please bear with us. Thank you. We'll be up and running hopefully for the next session. Andy, headline you don't want to see.
Tell you what, there's a few. There's a few I don't want to. If I had to pick one or two, I don't want to see injuries. Injuries is the biggest thing for me. You know, we lost Weeders already. Have they come out and said how serious it is, or how many weeks he'll miss training for, or anything?
I've read a couple different things, but they're saying, you know, was it a high grade strain, 4 to 6? Someone said 6 to 8. And again, you don't know with obviously, you know, a 1 or 2 week calf injury at our club ended up being 12 weeks, right? So,
yeah, exactly. The injury thing, and I'm hoping Sam Edmund was right that we are signing Voss, because I don't want to see Voss is under the pump in a contract year. Voss is under the pump in a contract year. And then Mus made the point last night too, where if we do sign him, he doesn't want to see, did we sign him too early? Did we sign him too early? You can't really win, but I think you said it. Success is stability. Stability brings success. So having a coach signed, sealed, he's not stressed about his future. The team's not stressed about his future. He can just coach and we can win flags. That's it.
Absolutely agreed, mate. Absolutely agreed. We've had too much instability on the coaching panel for a long time. So one that I don't want to see, and I said it yesterday, again, a little bit of wordsmithing and wordplay, imperfect pairs, which is one of the Mackay's drops out of Carlton versus Essendon. So one of the twins. Now, take your pick, whichever twin it is. There's always really odd, injuries. The week before, we're playing Kangas in previous years. One of them will probably sneeze and throw it their back this year. I hope that doesn't happen. But I want to see. I think it's King's birthday. We'll play the Bombers for initially. So Harry on Ben, make it happen. Let this be the year. They got drafted in 2015. It's 2024. We want to see this. Everyone wants to see this. If it goes another year, the rumors are already rife. We want to see it.
I can't wait for that game. When I tell you I want revenge on a team, felt after that game, I never want to feel that way after a game again, ever. Last year's game, I mean, you can go back and watch the Carlton Essendon review from last year. I was pretty upset.
If anyone hasn't watched the Carlton Essendon review, go back and watch it, please. It's a great viewing.
Oh, it was horrid. To the lady
being upset, mate.
That was a horrid night.
It's just
not a fun night. Yeah,
a lot happened, but I agree. Looking forward to that rematch. I think we got a bit of a score to settle. I think because I guess after that game there's always been banter between the two clubs, but you've got Essendon that were making a serious tilt at a finals run, and they had a decent run towards the middle part of the season, and then they sort of dropped off, and we had our trajectory that started the week after that, right? So I think there's a bit of a score to settle with that game, so very keen.
Absolutely, there is.
I'll probably
before we continue, Peter V in the
jump in.
Just said, I've got some receipts to dish out in that game, mate. Do we ever? There's a lot of blokes last year. I don't want to get into it. I'll get angry. I'll roll myself up. I still got to go back to work after this. I don't want to yell at customers. So it's all good.
We'll save it for regular season at the grounds. But I'm keen as we got open training on Friday. I don't know if anyone's going to be going, but a few of us will try and go. So I'll be there. So I think it's at 9:30 or 10 in the morning. So if you're around, come say g'day. Always love having a chat. I had met one of our long-term listeners a couple of days ago, Doreen. So she asked for a shout out. So Doreen, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
G'day, Doreen.
What about a key storyline you're sort of looking out for this season? Could be Carlton, could be AFL in general. Is there anything that you've got your eye on that you're looking out for?
I mean, that's all I care about this year.
Say no more.
Tunnel vision. I want to win a flag, George. Enough's enough. We've been through the dirt. We've been through mud. We've been through shark shit, mate. It's been that deep. It is time to win a premiership and bring it home. It's time to bring it home.
Just the absolute scenes after the semi-final, right? And that was a semi-final. So and you got opposition clubs, your Geelong fans, Hawthorn fans, Richmond fans. It's just semi-final, they're used to it, mate. Lygon was shut down. The walk outside the MCG was ballistic. I hugged a bit. I reckon I've watched that fourth quarter of that game about 70 times in the offseason. Not about you, I'm sure you have as well. But
I know it. I know the entire game by memory. I don't need doesn't need to be playing. I could commentate the whole game for you.
And that was a semi-final. So it just goes to show, if we get the flag, mate, it's the city's going to burn to the ground.
What did you just say?
Sorry. Let me take that if word out. I've got to learn to take that out of the vocabulary.
That's right.
When? Need 17 first, mate. We need to be the first ones there.
Mate, give us 17, 18, 19. Three-peat.
Dynasty. I'm just keen for the bounce, keen for the opening round. What do you think? And we spoke about this last night. The pass mark for the year. What are your thoughts?
Mate, you know where I stand on this. A pass mark for the year is a premiership. Anything less than a premiership, we have to seriously look at ourselves and say, okay, we might have done some good things, but we're in the window now. This is our window. This is our time. We've got the list, we've got the coaching. This is it. You know, Brisbane made a grand final last year. You reckon they're happy making a grand final? Nah, bro. You're there to win premierships when you're at this point of your list. And I think, was it you or Amal? I think it was Amal listed our
age profile and
age profile and all that. Mate, we are right there.
Yep.
This is it for us. We have to go into the season. Anything less than a premiership is unacceptable. So, yeah. Two, so important.
Absolutely agreed. Regular season, I mean, my pass mark for regular season, top 4 in the sense that you got the double chance. Top 2, home final. You look at the probabilities of going deep into finals, and the teams that do, you know, your top 2 is the highest probability chance as well. So locking that away. You know, again, you know, if you look at the last season, say you're going to make a prelim, yeah, you're obviously happy with the progress that you made and get to the prelim. But as an establishment, as a proud football club, you're there wanting to win a flag. No one's going to get drafted and say, "Oh, can't wait to start playing some semis and prelims." You want to play in grand finals, right? That's what you want. That's what these players deserve.
100%.
So,
I disagree, George.
Mate.
I disagree. You don't deserve nothing in this life. We don't deserve anything. Hard work, persistence, and going hard as that's how you win a premiership. Mate, we have to. This is it. This is our time. We've been through hell, Georgie. This is it. Think about the games we have been to and stayed at, from the first siren to the final siren. Think about those nights. Think about those long. We watched a Fremantle game where we didn't score for an entire half. I think we didn't kick goal for an entire half, and we went in favourites. I think,
first one,
and they were like 80 points up.
Or your favourite one, GWS had 2 less blokes on the field and still ran rings around us. So we've witnessed some stuff.
We witnessed Carlton blokes carry a former player off the ground, bro. Now, I don't care what anybody about being good sportsmen, and he plays. He's not. You. Oh, bro, I'm just getting cut again. Dark times, Georgie. We're seeing the light. Winning a flag this year. I'm manifesting it. It's happening. Is gonna get up.
And that was my last question.
Get us there.
Yeah. Your BNF prediction was my last question. Is that your man? I think I've lost
BNF,
you.
Norm Smith, All Australian captain.
Yep, there you go.
Whatever you want. Brownlow. I can hear you. Can't hear me?
Yeah, no, I got you loud and clear. Mate, absolutely agree. Walshy,
just anything, whatever.
I was saying, I remember him training in... Sorry, I've got a bit of an audio delay. We're back now, I think, so apologies everyone listening in. But he was training in September before the Sydney game, and I remember I said it on the preview, he was training like a man possessed. And I said, yeah, keep an eye out on him in this final series. Ends up winning the best final series player. Now, with a full preseason under his belt, he's had obviously the back issue, and he came back, I think, gather round last year, sorry. So I'm really keen on Walsh absolutely entering beast mode and saying, Cripps, you don't have to shoulder the load every single week. And you got Chero, you got Kennedy, Doherty running in there as well. It's exciting. I reckon, fully agree I reckon Walsh is going to absolutely take it to that next level, be in the elite category as well. Should we go through a couple of the comments in the chat? Have you got the chat there to kick us off?
Absolutely. Sure. Oh, yeah. Just the last comment here, Petra. I followed that the winning would have to give
Gives a click over the ear just to say hello.
Absolutely. He's that so much. It was just necessary virtual signaling I've ever seen a club do on field. Like, mate, he left you. He wanted to leave. He was begging to leave for years. So as far as I'm concerned, you choose to leave the club. You're on your own, mate. Sorry, George. Carried away, bro. I'm getting angry.
All good, mate. I think there might be a slight audio delay, but great comment there from Petra. Thanks for contributing. I think there's about a 20-second audio delay, Andy. I'll quickly take it from here before we wrap up.
There, Georgie, or we just kicking back?
Orazio, Yui Kurtz said Orazio against those addicts, and I'm guessing he's excited for for Orazio lining up against Essendon King's birthday. So that's going to be a good one to look out for. Cameron, my key storyline is Charlie performing in finals. Love that. Peter V. Bluebag, a top 4 pass mark at least in order to get that chance to have a home prelim, then go for gold. Top 4 must be baseline. Thanks, Petra. Very rare to make the grand final from outside the top 4. Doggies were exceptional in 2016. Absolutely. That was a crazy year. The president clapping the players off the ground after the prelim loss didn't sit right with me, not in public. Look, the supporters all sort of rising as one and clapping the guys off. I think it almost signals for me like it was the end of a roller coaster ride of a season, right? Like we went through so many different emotions, and there was pride. Like I felt super proud of these blokes. That first quarter for me was I started to dream. Like you look around and all of a sudden you're thinking, holy crap, we might be lining up against the Pies next Saturday. And although obviously it was disappointing to lose that match, I think it was more acknowledging these players in public and sort of getting around them and saying, hey, like we made it this far, use it as a driver for next season. And obviously there were more conversations held, behind closed doors. But and as Petra said, fans, yes, president, no, absolutely. You got to hold up to a high standard internally. I'm sure discussions were held and understanding that hey, we are here to play grand finals and win premierships as well. So great take. Really appreciate your comments there, Petra. Thank you so much for being active in the chat. Love the ones about the Carlton teams you follow. The players would have given Gibbs a clip over the year. I think that's it for us this week. We will be returning back, hopefully with a full crew. All 5 of us degenerates will come back in the next couple of weeks for another show. Any closing comments, Andy? All good. I'm watching your lips move, but the audio is syncing about 10 seconds delayed. So just in case, I didn't want to talk over you. Guys, we said it might have been a car crash. It's the first time we're hosting without a host, Amal. So we will be back, hopefully, with a sequence then in sync and audio and video. Thank you for tuning in. Jump in the comments whilst you're watching it, if you're watching it later. Who's your BNF prediction for this year? Your headline you want to see, you don't want to see, most improved player, breakout young player as well. Pass mark for the year. Which fixture you're looking forward to the most?
Keen
We love hearing from you all.
for 4, keen for 7.
We're done.
Podcast.
Let's
so
go. Up
super
the baggers.
keen
See
to
you guys
get
soon.
Get it. Yeah. And then we're not stopping for no one.